Good morning, friends of the Latino Chamber of Commerce. My name is Carla Colin. I am having some technical issues here, but we are here with our guests, and they're the important people today here. So I don't want you to worry about me. I want you to pay attention to these so important information that we have during this interview. We have our friends Charlie and Leslie here, and they're gonna talk to us about super important things that are good for everyone. I want to say that every time someone is struggling with economic issues because someone passed unexpectedly, I see the GoFundMe pages and I see the fundraisings, and it's hard for me to think about, that family must be struggling so much, not only with what's going on with their loved one, but also with finding the way to cover the expenses. So Charlie and Leslie are going to have amazing information for us today. As you know, we are going to have this interview in English, and then we're going to have it also in Spanish so you can hear the information in the language that you prefer. And before we continue and before we start with the questions, I'm going to ask Charlie and Leslie to introduce themselves, tell us who they are. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here.
Yeah, oh my gosh, we're really excited, Carla. Thank you so much. Yeah, just real quickly introduce myself. I'm Charlie Eberly. My wife and I and three kiddos live in Lakewood, and we've been out here for about 8 years or so. So we thought we were coming out to visit and never went back to Pennsylvania. But
That's what happens. Leslie,
it
welcome.
happens.
Thank you for having us this morning. My name is Leslie Arriaga. I am 20 years old. I am from California and I moved to Denver, Colorado in 2022. And I'm really excited to share with you guys what we have today, this morning.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Leslie. And Charlie, I'm gonna start with you. And it's always the hard question when it comes about planning an extra expense, especially during these times. And most people think of life insurance as something complicated or expensive, that makes things hard for when you have it because you have to spend every month on a policy. But I want people to think that it's even harder to not have it, and something happens. So what makes the kind of protection you offer different to other policies or other options?
Yeah, I love the way you said that, how it's like it's not the most fun thing to have to pay for something like this, but it is way better than the alternative, though. It's way easier than the alternative. But I think a lot of a lot of people get overwhelmed and feel overwhelmed when they hear life insurance. It sounds complicated and expensive and full of lots of fine print. And honestly, a lot of times it is like that. On top of that, a lot of folks that I talk with, they assume that they're protected and covered through work often. Those policies are generally pretty limited. They don't move with you if you change jobs. In most cases, they don't. They're not really enough to cover more than a year or so of expenses if something serious happens. And so what we offer is just it's very simple. It's affordable income protection. It's real coverage designed to replace your income and protect your family if the worst happens. It's not about investing or confusing contracts, just giving people something that they can actually understand and count on.
That's great. That's great information. Thank you so much for that. And also, when I first met with you and Carissa, I made sure to ask this question. I think it was one of my first questions for you guys. Is it true that even if someone doesn't have a social security number, they can still qualify for coverage?
Yes. So that is a common misconception, I think, that comes up a lot as folks think that if they don't have a social security number, that they don't qualify for these things. But that is not true. All you need is an I-10 number, and you can apply and get approved. And here's what's really powerful about that is once that coverage is in place, it's yours. It's not if your situation changes, it's not something that can be taken away. It's as long as you're making your payments, your family is protected. And I think that kind of peace of mind is something a lot of folks are not aware of.
Definitely. Thank you so much for sharing that because that's super important for our Latino community, specifically
Yeah.
for our migrant community that are not sure about what's going on right now and they want to have their family protected. So I know we talked about these when we first met virtually, and I just saw Carissa last week with the babies at our cafecito, and she was telling me about these. I know your business is growing fast, and I also want to learn what opportunities you have for new people to join the team and get licensed to do what you do right now with life insurance.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And that's what's really cool about what we're doing is it's really we're kind of building our own thing, and we are growing quickly. And so I think the truth is as well as a lot of people that join us, they don't come from background in sales or finance or anything like that. They just have a heart to help people and to build something better for their families and for their communities. We provide all the training, all the licensing support, mentorship that's needed to get started. But you can really make an impact and build a business of your own. Um, but yeah, we love to bring on, we're looking to help as many people as we can. So yeah, we would love to grow.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. I love that because that's an employment opportunity for the community, and they can even start as part-time because I know you guys started that way, and it's becoming more like a full-time, and it's more you and Carissa are very
Mhm.
you know invested in it. So I want to make sure that people understand that they don't have to drop their full-time jobs right away. They can
Yes.
start part-time, and that's amazing. That's a great opportunity.
That's a really good point. Just to drive that home, this is a super low barrier to entry sort of thing. I started doing it as just a way to make some extra money on top of my full-time job. So there are no quotas or anything. It's very relaxed, kind of on your own time. So, but yeah, it's a great opportunity.
That is amazing. And I'm gonna go to my last question, and I want to learn why is this work so important to your team personally, and what drives you to do it? Because I know we talked about these, and I feel like the story that you were telling me before we started the recording was amazing. So if you can elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, for me, it's something that there's too many families, being taken advantage of, and the financial industry is full of a lot of products that are built to look helpful, but really aren't in people's long-term best interests. And it's something that I've seen firsthand is families being financially ruined because they didn't have proper protections in place, or they think. I think the worst thing is when folks they think they have it set up properly. Somebody passes away and that person passes away thinking that their family's taken care of, and then they're not. That's something that really drives me. I want to tell as many people as I can, about how important it is, and to help them understand that it isn't this big expensive thing, and what real protection actually looks like. How to put something real in place that will help. And I think more than that, um, we're trying to build something that lasts, that this change that we can bring into this industry that spreads to as many families and communities as we can spread it to.
Definitely. No, that's amazing. I really like that. And I feel like we all need to look into that. Some employment places don't offer life insurance, and I feel like that's a big thing for us as Latinos. We don't want to depend on fundraisings and GoFundMe's. That it's
Exactly.
very
Yeah.
difficult. Sometimes people are willing and able to help, and sometimes they're not. So we don't want to depend on that. So thank you so much for sharing these
Yeah.
today. Charlie,
Thank
anything
you
else that
for
you would like to add?
no, I just that I we're my wife and I, Carissa, she couldn't, she's inside with our kiddos actually right now. She couldn't make it. But we're just really excited to um just connect with and help people.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And Paris and
Thank you,
Charlie are
Carla.
gonna be joining us for some of our events at the Latino Chamber. They're planning to be at Feria del Tamal. So if you guys feel like you want to connect with them directly, they're going to be there. And also, I want to say that I met Carissa at a very different place than where they are right now, and they still want to be connected with the community. So thank you so much, Charlie, for doing these. And Charlie's information is going to be on the description of these videos, so you can follow up with him if you have any questions or if you want to start exploring the possibility of starting a policy for your life insurance needs. So feel free to reach out to him. And we are going to have this interview, like I said at the beginning, again in Spanish. So thank you so much, Charlie, and nice
Of
seeing you
course.
today.
Yeah, you too, Carla. Thank you so much.